So Ian, can you tell us a little bit about how you came up with the story and what brought the story on for you?
Yeah, in COVID, 2020. yeah, everything went down. Both my parents got sick, and then I was their caregiver for about 2.5. 2021 is when my mom passed, and then 2.5 years after that, my dad passed, and and then for the entire time, I was kind of writing this thing, and it first started off as a scripted podcast because I was doing a few scripted podcasts, narratives, and then I wrote just Evie and Justin and the audio files. But then while I was caregiving, I was raised Catholic, so I was always afraid of The Exorcist. And then I was just thinking, and I was always wondering, why is this so scary? And then I kind of thought maybe it's because it takes something that's supposed to be safe, a little girl in your house, and then turns that into the danger. And then, I felt the same way when I was caregiving my mom. She was almost like a child, and then I took this script that was already finished, and then I added. So in between the recording sessions, I added the other stuff, and then in the end, this came.
Well, I can relate because I also was raised Catholic, and The Exorcist was used as kind of like, this is what happens to bad girls. So get possessed by the devil if you don't pray. So I totally related to that, and also like I've also experienced like the death of my parents, and like you wonder that kind of space between living and death, and what is happening, what's going on in their heads, and you really brought that out in this film, like just the close-ups of Evie's mother and Evie, and just seeing like how they're kind of connected in the house, and they're kind of stuck as like two souls kind of circling each other. It's so brilliant. Like, it was really, really brilliant. And Nina, you carried this film so brilliantly. You want to give it up for Nina? Can you talk about how you came onto the project and just like the intensity that you had to carry throughout the whole film?
Yeah, I think at first when I knew I was going to do the movie, I had a really short amount of time to prep. So I was more concerned of like learning my lines. And then, because there's so much with the podcast, and there's just like 15 pages of dialogue and I was like, oh, the lines. And then, like the more I read the script, there's something about parents are a really emotionally volatile relationship, and it's not hard to tap into that guilt that comes with caregiving, because there's so much there in that relationship. And as we were doing the movie, I was like, oh, this is already all there. I don't need to be scared that I don't know my lines, or if I do, whatever. And I think that just came very naturally, meeting Ian too, and getting deeper and deeper into like why Evie is the way she is, and getting to work with Michelle, that just sort of appeared within those scenes. And so it was very natural what ended up happening and like coming out of that.
Yeah, I felt like when I was watching you on the monitor, the way your performance was similar to what I felt.
I could like feel you when we were doing it. I really
like
could.
When we were done, we talked.
Yeah. Like I could really feel Ian's. It's such a personal story, and that's so obvious, and it bleeds into everything. And I just felt very connected to you, and I felt very I felt the pain that you were feeling, and also, yeah, I guess that parental guilt. I don't know why that was my strongest emotion of like, I need my space to heal for myself because I'm not okay. But if I walk away from you, like, my mom, you know, that was the strongest for me.
And I think that really comes out in the scene where her boyfriend's like, you come to the party, and you're like, okay, do I go to the party because she could go at any moment? Or do I miss out on living my life? Because that is really the point where you're like, okay, because I know with my experience, do I go to the hospital or do I go like kind of let loose with my friends? Because it's like this kind of, you know, that guilt, like where you're like, I'd like to live my life, but also, you know, I have to tend to my parents. So it was so brilliant, that scene. And like, even Ian, when her mom she finds her mom on the floor. I don't know if anybody's ever experienced someone who's kind of passing, but they kind of will get this energy. And you're like, what are you doing? You're trying to get out of bed. So for me, that really, I really felt that, because she could have easily rolled out of bed herself, because they get these bursts of energy, or it could have been something else. And I really love that question. Like, it was I thought that was such a great scene. Yeah.
So that actually happened.
Yeah?
Okay. Because I woke up and I went to the washroom and saw her. And then, but I didn't put it in the script. And then when I spoke to a story editor, he was like, why don't you add something that makes her feel, you know, more guilty, and
right.
like, you know, she like, and then he just said like that, and I was like, and then so I put it in, and then that happened a few times actually with when I was working with these.
Yeah.
It's like they added stuff that.
But it actually happened. So like it totally blew my mind. I was like, oh my god, yeah, because my dad tried to get out of bed. I'm like, and then the same day he passed. I'm like, how does that? You know, you don't know like what kind of energy they have, if it's like something where it's like kind of their last, you know, like hurrah, basically. So it was just really fascinating to me. And let's talk about the cinematography. And like, Graham, you want to talk a little bit about that? Because it was incredible.
I would say that I didn't do much on this. There was an incredible production designer. And Ian basically shot the film beforehand on Microsoft Word. With these images, it was insane. It was madness. So I just kind of translated that and then hired some of the best crew in the city. They're here. Where are they? These three boys back here. These are my biological children, Gio, Lucas, and Ace. And that was it, yeah. I think, I don't know, we got good cameras and stuff too, so it was, I don't know, I don't want to take too much credit for it. It was just, yeah. What was it?
Mercedes, so I live in that house. There's it was all shot in my house. So.
Oh, I was gonna ask about the house, because it looks like it's somebody's house, and it's clearly, you know, it's not a set. Yeah.
As soon as I was done the script, and then I just called Graham, because we've been making shorts for fun for 15 years, and then I said, I'm just gonna make this script. I'm just gonna make this feature. I have $10,000, and I was like, let's just do it. And then give it to Graham, and then Dan read it, right? And then Cody read it, and then it just started snowballing, and then all the right people started coming together. And then I remember around December, because I was living in a house. This was about a year after my dad passed, and I was kind of like recovering from alcoholism. So I really did live that, and then. But then, you know, then Mercedes came, and then she started putting up the wallpaper, and then like making the place look scary, and then and I started drinking again.
So the wallpaper is still up. The house is still the set. We charge $15 a night. We serve snacks. There's a sauna in the backyard too.
Yeah, because they said that they might need reshoots, so I had to live in the house for that.
And
Mercedes.
do you want to talk? Or sorry, Mercedes, do you want to talk about the?
Yeah. So since it was Ian's house, we want to protect it being like, you know, I wanted to keep authentic to his place, but then at the same time, this script obviously takes place all in one location. We want to make sure visually it stayed interesting. So yeah, we, with the help of Haley there, we wallpapered the entire house and brought in all new furniture and brought in all new little knickknacks and lots of knickknacks.
He was responsible for 2 amazing shots. The opening shot where we shot a wide into the mirror, and then we panned, revealing that it was a mirror. I didn't think of that until Mercedes put that mirror there. And then also that medicine cabinet was in the downstairs, the main floor bathroom, and then Mercedes put it upstairs, and I said, whoa. And then I wrote that scene where she took the sleeping, all because of that. So it's another coincidence.
I also want to talk about the religious iconography throughout the whole house, and like you were raised Catholic, and that little Madonna with all the little babies crawling up.
That was
Yeah, that's something I found.
that was we wanted a depiction of Abazu with the babies, but we also wanted it to look similar to like a Mother Mary, kind of that was our vibe.
Yeah.
So I worked with an amazing 3D artist who actually, Haley made a prototype out of like a little Amazon doll, and anyway made it an awesome prototype, and then we brought it to a 3D artist who then did it digitally and then printed it. And that was our most expensive set piece.
It was like seeing it on this big. It was so creepy. It was so creepy.
You know what? So that was actually based on an actual figurine that. Remember I showed you?
Yeah.
I wanted to use it, but we couldn't find the clearance for it. But it was so I found this little figurine in Value Village with a woman with all these babies, and then I wanted to use it, and then it was. I looked at the bottom and it said something like this wasn't made by an indigenous, because I think it was an indigenous
Oh, right.
kind
So,
of like
yeah.
piece of art.
Right. Yes.
And then you know how they were shooting. Someone's telling me not to talk. No, but so you remember how we were showing the screens of cruel stuff that happened to kids.
Right.
So when I was trying to search for stuff to put on the screen,
Right.
I came across the residential schools stuff.
Right.
And then this is about Catholic guilt, right?
Right. Yes.
Right. And the thing is, I had that figurine, but we couldn't
Right.
find clearance for it.
Right.
So we made it.
Yeah.
But that's the story behind how
Oh,
that
it's so
happened.
yeah, because that really does. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, we all know all about that. So it's that's that Catholic guilt.
Yeah, so I had that figurine too.
Yeah, it's
Also-
crazy. Yeah. Do we have any questions? Oh, yeah, Sean.
So watching the film, I was like, reminded vaguely of the Baston Night, which is also based on like the radio programs. Like, what are some of your other influences for? So,
It's found footage, so Paranormal Activity and Blair Witch. I feel like I combined them. As soon as she starts listening, it's found footage. And The Exorcist. Those 3 things.
Yep, right here. 10.
I really thought the sound design was fantastic, and I love to, because that's a whole other world. Like, you could really just listen to this movie too. The visuals are great, but you can also just listen to it. And like, who mixed your sound? Can you tell me about that process, whatever you want to say about it?
Yeah, Cody set that up with Red Lab in Toronto. I didn't even know about it. And then when I came in, I sat with the mixer, and then we were in a theater like this mixing, and then he was like, "You could do this, you could do that," and then I was like, "Okay, put a baby crying right here, right, and then put a whisper here," and then I kind of made the film. Like, I mean, it's kind of like I remade a film on top of this film in that process, and that was a surprise. I don't know.
Would you play anything for Nina to listen to though?
Yeah. So Nina was. Nina didn't hear any of those things. So we shot.
I heard I heard the conversation between the couple for real, like for the first time. But I haven't seen the movie until now. You know what I didn't hear? The voicemail.
Right.
Was that you added that?
Yeah.
I'm
That
like,
was
who did
Michelle that recorded that in Red Lab ADR.
Okay. I missed that.
That was Sunny's idea, the editor. Because there was notes of we want to hear more about the relationship between.
Yeah.
And we're like, we can't shoot again. So we came up with.
Just to give you guys some perspective on how that sound was done, or the sound recorder is Dane, Great Dane. A lot of nicknames for Dane. He was essentially DJing the whole time. He had this like mixer board, and he was just replaying these sounds like this, and it was complicated, but he made it work by himself. So kudos to that man.
Those audio files were recorded before we shot in the house with the iPhone.
But there was a guy playing Justin upstairs, like live during production.
Yeah.
Which was also Dane's, like, I don't know. That was cool that you could do that.
Yeah,
Because you were
that's true,
recording
DJ.
sound and making sure I could hear through the.
Yeah, Dane recorded the iPhone stuff too. Yeah, and he did everything. He played it for you.
He sang Blink 182
Oh yeah.
quite a bit.
And you heard some of the files for the first time on
Yeah.
during shooting.
I think that was a really good idea because they're so good. Like, and I didn't know what to expect, and then it just really helped to have it live.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone that was on set thought that those were the scariest things. Was the what stuff happened, like the reverse, listening to the reversal of nursery rhymes, and some of us had comms. And you had a
when
comm.
Gio got the context the first time, he had nightmares for like 2 weeks. He hadn't slept.
Yeah, Graham was shooting, and he didn't know that he would hear the Baba Black Sheep backwards and then hear it.
It is very kind of immersive and kind of consumes you in a way. It's just really terrifying. We have time for one more question. Oh.
Here's a picture, the red picture of the woman. Is that a real person, or was it design, or was it?
Yeah, we designed it. It was based on a creepypasta that's real. It's I don't know if you Google something about a video and people. Yeah, wait, no, it's not. It's red, and it's just a guy smiling, and there's sound, and then the urban legend is that a few people died and they mailed their eyeballs to the website, and I rewrote it so it was ears. Yeah.
Interesting.
And then we designed that piece.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much. Thank you. You made it through the world premiere of the Undertone. Thank you so much.
Thank you.